And did they used to give you the talk, you're obviously a very bright boy, you could do something with this, or did they just ignore you?
No, I've got to say I didn't show any promise at school in any of the art forms.
Not even English?
No, not even English. No, not at all. I wasn't really interested in anything at school. I was interested in music, listening to it. I didn't, you know, I didn't harbour any ambitions for anything. I was terrible at spelling and writing and reading. It wasn't until I left school that I was a late developer, do you know what I mean? I've never been a child prodigy. Didn't pick up the guitar till late in the day. And, you know, I didn't join a band until I was 24. I didn't have a record deal till I was 27. They all die at 27. I was only just, you know, I was only just kind of limbering up then.
The 27 Club, yeah.
I was limbering up. So, yeah, I just wasn't interested at school. It just didn't, for some reason, I didn't connect with it at all.
The standard view in books and profiles is that you were scarred by your childhood and that you've channeled that into songwriting. Is that how you see it?
I wouldn't say I was scarred, but everybody's childhood makes them what they are.
And yours was pretty rough, wasn't it?
Well, the times were rough, do you know what I mean? It was kind of the 70s and the 80s, you know, and it was working class Manchester and Thatcher and all that kind of thing. And there was a dole. We were all on the dole. My dad was on the dole at some points. My friends were on the dole, as were their dads. It was a pretty bleak time. And, but it was no different than anybody else's. And music was an escape for me. Not for any, I never thought, well, I'm going to be a pop star one day. Just they didn't come from where we come from. They came from somewhere else. They were bussed in, you know, to the BBC from somewhere else. They were not from Manchester. And music was an escape for me. It was kind of, you know, that 3 minutes would take you somewhere else, out of the drudgery of cold northern England in November. You know.
You say it's just like anyone else, but your dad is depicted as quite a scary character.
Yeah. I wouldn't say he was a monster. I'd just say he was a shit dad.
And violent.
Yeah, prone to it. Yeah.
And that you suffered that. I mean.
Yeah.
But you must be affected by that because that's not normal, is it?
Well, I've never sat down on a couch with a psychiatrist until now, and I don't know. I've never written a song about my childhood, about any of that, and I wouldn't really feel comfortable doing it, you know. I don't mind talking about it because I'm all right with it. I dare say that most of the kids on my street, their upbringing was quite the same, you know. I think. I mean, and you know, I wasn't the model son, do you know what I mean? I was out half the night. I was sniffing glue and doing mushrooms and all sorts, you know what I mean? And robbing stuff and all that, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I was, you know, Aled Jones, you know, being leathered for having a great voice, you know what I mean? I was a tricky customer. I was a bit lippy, you know, and I don't really look back on it and think, well, if only. It kind of gave me a drive to go somewhere else, I think, I don't know.
And do you think about your father, or have you put him out of your mind?
No, I don't think of it at all. I don't have any opinion on it. I don't think bad things or good things, or I don't think maybe I should go and see him, or I don't think maybe I should go and wag my finger at him and all that. It's his loss, not mine.
The News of the World, a late newspaper, they tried to put you in contact with him, didn't they? They brought him to a hotel.
Yeah. Quite a tricky evening. Yeah. Liam overreacted and went absolutely mental. And I was of the opinion that it was just ignore them, do you know what I mean? Just ignore them. There's no point. The party was in full swing and it was a great night. And all of a sudden it kind of came crashing down. But I don't take anything like that seriously. I think it's just water off a duck's back to me.
And you don't know where he is now?
I know exactly where he is. Yeah, he's still living in the house that my mum left him in. Yeah, he's still there. He lives about 1.5 miles away from where my mum moved us to. And all my mum's sisters, we all grew up in the same place. Everybody still sees him. It's a very, nobody cares anymore. It's a long time ago, you know.
But you don't see him though, no?
I don't see him, no. I live in London, don't I?
When you became a father yourself, having kids, was Was that difficult? Because you'd never seen a good example of it, had you?
No, I'd never seen a good example of any kind of parenting until I met Sarah, who is an incredible mother to the children. I've learnt so much from her because she had great parents. You know, her family, her mum and dad have been married for 150 years or something. They're still together, and so she takes that and brings it into with our children. Of course, I come from a dysfunctional family, so I'm good with the kids now. I love it. But at first, with my older daughter, I was like, I don't know.
You didn't know how to behave.
I didn't have the tools instinctively. Fathers don't. And I wasn't with her mum, you know. So fathers don't have those instinctive tools. Women, mothers do. Do you know what I mean? Or should do, you know. So yeah, it was a bit tricky at the beginning, but now it's great. I love it. Yeah.
But from what I've read about your mother, I mean, she did everything she could, didn't she, for you? I mean, she looked out for you.
Yeah, she's very loyal, my mum, and she would always stand by us, and she never tried to push us to do one thing or the other, you know. She was just like, whatever you do, you have to make it happen for yourself. No one's going to give you anything. And I remember, you know, playing the guitar at home, and she never said go and get a proper job or anything like that. It was just, if that's what you're happy doing, then be the best at it that you can, you know. And that was it. She never pushed us into any particular avenue, or you should do this or you should do that. It was just like, you know, be happy, you know. She was mortified when I remember the day I was 21, and I said that I was leaving home. She's like, why? I was like, I met this girl. We've got a flat in town. That's okay. Why are you leaving home? Well, I'm 21, so what? Your brother's 23. Yeah, well, you know, it's about time though, isn't it? No. You know what I mean? They used to get offended, Irish mums.
But you moved house in the middle of the night once, didn't you? I mean, she just moved you out.
Yeah, when she left me, old fella, yeah, middle of the night. Yeah. It was undercover operation, yeah. Because I wonder what would happen if my old fella would have come back, you know. There would have been bedlam. But she was very, yeah, when I think of those times, you know what I mean, she kind of brought us up on her own, really. And 3 lads, particularly one of them being Liam, it's very tricky. The other one being me and our Paul. It wasn't as much trouble as me and Liam, but at his moments. Yeah, I mean, she's kind of, she did it. She gave it all up for us, you know what I mean? And it was by total and utter chance, I would say it's because she's got great karma that 2 of her children go on to be, you know, 2 of the biggest rock stars that England ever produced, and, you know, and all that goes with it. All she got was a new garden gate. You know, Liam offered to buy her a castle somewhere in Alderley Edge, and the garden gate at the council house had a squeak on it for years. Changed it, put a gold number 5 on it. That was it. Still there. She still lives in the same council house.
And is that all she wanted from you?
Yeah, she's one of a family of 11, so she's got like 7 sisters. They all live within a 2-mile radius of each other, and she's just who she is, and she knows who she is, and she's not really. She doesn't buy into all what goes on down here in London. Do you know what I mean? She still lives in the same house, doing the same thing. The same routine. She sees her sisters and her grandkids, and she loves it.
Does your mother take sides in the disputes that
between me and Liam?
You and Liam?
No, she doesn't. No, like she furiously will not take sides. Furiously will not take sides.
Which as a parent you can see as the proper thing to do.
Of course, that's what parents are. They're neutral referees, aren't they? You know, I'll be the same with my 2 lads. You know, I won't take sides.
Does she ever say in the way that mothers do sometimes, can't you 2 just get along?
Yeah, of course, yeah. She was at my house at Christmas and we had this very conversation, you know, and it never resolves to anything, do you know what I mean? So she says, well, I've said this to Liam and I've said that to you, and why can't you both just blah, 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 and it's, you know, I kind of, do what all Northerners do. Say, do you want a cup of tea? You know. That sorts everything out up north. Tea, yes.
And it was a Catholic upbringing. There's a picture of you at your first Holy Communion.
Yeah, I went to church for a long time, yeah. You know, every Sunday. Until my mum stopped going. I think she'd had enough. And then we were like, thank God for that. You know, church is a bit mad, isn't it?
But God comes up in the songs quite a lot, or has done.
But it's great imagery. Gods and angels is great imagery. And, you know, my wife is an angel, you know. My children are angels. It's not that, those things are not supposed to be taken literally. But God is a fascinating concept. You know, I don't think anyone in their right mind would believe it's a guy with a beard in a one-piece tunic living on a cloud playing a harp, you know. But seemingly everybody has their own perception of what it is. I don't know what my perception of it is. Don't know whether God is within you and it's just your own version of it in your soul or what. But I do write about it. I do write about the word God a lot because it's great to put in a song.
'Cause you're the only God that I would ever need. I'm holding on and waiting for the moment to find me.
There's lots of psychological theories about the position in a family and the difference it makes. And you're the middle child,
Yeah.
aren't you? So they're supposed to get neglected and overlooked, and then the youngest one is supposed to be spoiled.
Well, the eldest is always the eldest, and the baby is always the baby, and the one in the middle looks after themselves, so they say. But I know quite a few middle children. We're all the same, very self-contained. Just do it ourselves. Not really minded about anything other than just getting on with it. Do you know what I mean?
And was it always difficult between you and Liam from early on?
No, it's only difficult when towards like from 95, 94, 95. Well, from when the band got famous, really. You know, there was always a power struggle there. Do you know what I mean? And before we got a manager and actually signed the record deal, all anybody had was my phone number. So I did all the talking for the band. And that just carried on, do you know what I mean? And maybe the others maybe felt a little bit neglected by that. I can understand that, but, you know, what can I say?
But you didn't fight as kids?
No. 5 years is a big difference when I'm 15 and he's 10. That's like you know, he's just out of short trousers, do you know what I mean? Now the difference isn't nothing. It doesn't make any difference now. But we didn't fight as children. Not that I shared a bedroom with him for years. You know, he was too busy cadging money off me is what he was doing. You know, it was perennially borrowing a fiver. Always. And never got it back.